Hi everyone. I thought I would just make this video to go over some information about the externship pieces. So, because I think when we talked about it in September, you were in a different headspace. So now that I've sort of forced the issue on you, there's lots more questions. So let me see if I can answer those, and then we'll go from there. So if you have no interest in working in a school at all, then you can do certainly a medical or like a birth to 3 off campus, and then a medical or birth to 3 off campus externship. That's fine. If you have any interest in working in a public school, especially in the state of Wisconsin, there's 2 different things that can happen. You can not do a school placement, and then if someday you decide to work in a school, that there's 3 tiers in the licensure for the state. There's a provisional, professional, and then like a lifetime license. So if you never did a school practicum, but you have all those education courses, pointers, you know those as Ed 205 and 381 and 382, and some of you have signed up for those grad level courses. If you have those under your belt, then all you have to have is 3 years of public school experience. That would include the job that you would take. So if you worked in a skilled nursing facility, but then maybe you have a family or your life changes and you want to get a job in a school, you would come in at a provisional license. That's tier 1. You would still have your state license, that DSPS license that gets you the medical license. You'd have to keep that for 3 years while you're working in a public school. Once that's completed, then you would get the professional license on the school side. Now it's going to be different in every state, so if you're moving to Michigan, it doesn't matter. But that's what Wisconsin requires. If you have those education courses and you do a practicum or an externship in a school, when you go to get a school job, then you're going to get that tier 2 license, that professional license. So it's just going to save you some time in the tracks. You won't have to have the state license on top of that unless you're doing like moonlighting or PRN work in a skilled nursing facility or hospital. And if you don't want to do a school at all, then you're just going to have a state license, the DSPS license, and that will allow you to work in birth to 3, skilled nursing, rehab, hospital. But if you change your mind at some point and want to do a school job in Wisconsin, and you haven't had any classes and you haven't had any practicum, you still can do that, but now you're going to have to take the Ed Psych and a pluralism, like a diversity class at Ed 205, whatever you're taking this summer, Ed 790. You'll have to take a class or find a class and then be in that provisional license for 3 years. So it's a 3-year experience plus those education courses. So there's a lot of, like, if you are A, then you go to B, and if you're B, then you do 6.5. So it's it can be confusing. You're welcome to come in and chat with me about it. I'm happy to help you navigate that. If you aren't from Wisconsin and aren't going to stay in Wisconsin, I can kind of help you navigate some of the state rules about where you're going to go that would require you to have certain things under your belt. So there's it's just easier if you have any inkling about school at all, just to have a practicum under your belt for licensure and just for some general experience, but you don't have to. Just know later on down the road you might have to do some other coursework to make that happen, and that's really the gist of the whole thing. Okay, if you also have other life crises that you need to chat with, like, I don't know, whatever, you want to move to Mexico, you can come and talk to me about that. It's fine. So you would not be the first class to have issues or questions. That happens all the time. The sooner that we can kind of deal with it and get on and moving on it, the better off we are. So there's that. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. And if not, come and see me and I'll say it again, maybe with candy this time. Okay, so happy Monday. All right, have a good day.